there's another form of reconciliation that nobody's talking about. We come to conferences, we come to meetings, we talk about reconciliation between Tutsis and Hutus and Jews and Germans and all that. Who's talking about reconciliation between men and women? You know, this is the first time I'd ever heard the term.
I've never heard of a gender reconciliation workshop. I didn't know what to expect in the first place. The work itself is so powerful that anyone who was in that room and introduced to it somehow just grabbed that, and that was enough to just pull you in and let you fully participate.
It was a really amazing experience for multiple reasons. Both in terms of the fact that I'm relatively new at this university, and I myself have had some really difficult experiences with gender discrimination and the like on campus, which is something I'd never really experienced.
Just to have a space to reflect on gender also in a more personal way than what maybe I usually tend to do. So it was very valuable.
Y bueno, ahora queremos que encuentren una compañía, una pareja, tal vez alguien que no conozcan muy bien.
Kindness. I think starting with the silence, you know, that silence to allow people to be present, I think that is really key.
This workshop provided a space where men and women could come together to really share emotions and stories, and I think, you know, that is very valuable, and that really started to make me think of the stereotypes that we have, you know, of women as victims and men as perpetrators, and really acknowledging, you know, men's pain.
She was narrating this story. Actually, my tears came out. My tears came out, and that is the reason that triggered my spirit to feel that I need to apologize.
The miracle of all that was when one of the gentlemen stood up and went to the center and knelt down. Even I feel emotional when I talk about it. Knelt down. You know about our culture, and you know how men don't give any space. And this gentleman went and knelt down and said, I want to apologize on behalf of your uncles. And then the girl just started weeping. And she said, at that moment, when that man knelt down and apologized, she forgave him. A hatred that she had carried for so long. And she was just cleansed. That was powerful. That was awesome to see. I mean, it works. It really works. It really changes people's lives.
Compartir ese trabajo con las personas que a Colombia que aceptaron venir.
It's not at all natural for me to make myself as vulnerable as I was when I was sharing. I mean, that's just about as vulnerable as a person can get. And I felt so completely held by everyone in the room during that process.
It's about equality, and it's about bringing together, and it's about openness and honesty, and I mean, you know, and that's what it's encouraging. So they, you know, reaffirming that there is no element of, you know, one's the bad one and one's the good one.
Particularly when men were sharing their experiences. There was a typical strong man, a guy, when you look at, you'll see that this is a very strong and muscular man, you know, tough, you know, nothing can break him. You know, when he actually shared his experiences, the fact that he too has been hurt. When we did that little ritual, you know, because I was positive and energized, you know, and when it happened and seeing how genuine it was when they gave the gift and receiving it, and I sat there and I imagined that, have other women experienced getting a gift and receiving it as genuinely as they did from a man before? No hidden agendas, I'm just doing this for you.
because so much of religion in all religions has been very male dominated. So we religious leaders need to be liberated from our male domination. I know many priests, my own personal experience, who would like to be liberated, but we don't have a methodology to do that.
Do you think this work could contribute to that in some way?
Oh, it would be tremendous, you know. It would offer a major breakthrough, this type of work.
I feel very strongly about women abuse, but I didn't judge the men when they stood up. I actually felt admiration for them having the courage to stand up and admit that. It kind of shifts these judgmental attitudes.
I'd never heard about it, never even had thought about it. It was a new paradigm.
I would like this kind of work to happen more naturally in more different spaces with more kinds of the variety of groups. Make it normal to begin to talk about these things.
Today too for our generation to say, oh well, the women's movement has happened, the feminist movement has happened, we've healed the wounds, let's move on. And it was so clear. We had someone pointed out, women and men, I guess, from every generation. We had people in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, all the way up to their 80s, and the wounds were pretty much the same across every age. And so we can think we've changed things, but it was pretty evident the change that needs to happen has not happened.
So here we come to collaborate on a partnership that has already shown very good results. These two people here how many years now? 21, it's okay. Have been working on this whole question of gender reconciliation.
What relevance do you think this work might have on the university campus?
It is so necessary, and it has to happen. I mean, gender, people just aren't even aware, of what's going on right in front of their very eyes. I mean, even if, it just reaches a portion of the student body, if, even the smallest little seed could just have the most amazing impact.
If you go to a gender reconciliation workshop, you'll interact with men differently. You'll understand even yourself and women better. So it opens you up.
It honestly was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Genuinely, I mean, again, just saying that I can't believe what we as a group accomplished in such a short space of time.
We are inaugurating and announcing that we are going to have this collaboration with an outstanding group that has done wonders in helping to recover the humanity of women.
I think some of our societal problems, inflicting unnecessary pain on each other and spiraling to violence and you name it, I think it would go a long way in addressing that.